So isn't this just the same thing as an FPGA? This is a question that comes up a lot, and it's one of the first issues that came up when we were first describing the cell matrix to other people. And there are certainly a lot of similarities to an FPGA. After all, a cell matrix is a piece of reconfigurable hardware, just like a field programmable gate array, a complex programmable logic device, or any other kind of programmable logic. So it's similar to an FPGA in those aspects, but it differs in a number of fundamental ways. The most significant departure from a classic FPGA is the fact that the system can self-configure. And this is not the same as partial configuration. This is intrinsic to the architecture of the cell matrix. This is built in at the lowest level of the hierarchy of cells and controllers and cells that are being controlled. Embedded into the very fabric of the system is this notion that cells can interact with each other, not just by exchanging data, but by exchanging configuration information. So the system itself is really designed from the ground up to be self-configurable, and it's not the same as using part of the circuits on the matrix to configure another thing that does reconfiguration. It's really ingrained throughout the entire fabric of the matrix. So that's probably the biggest departure from the sort of classic FPGA design. The regularity of the cell matrix and its regular interconnect is a departure from most modern FPGAs. There are legacy devices. Algotronics had some devices that were nearest neighbor connect. Um, but the cell matrix is strictly nearest neighbor interconnection. There's no global routing resources, and all the cells are homogeneous and they're extremely simple. And that's a departure from the more coarse-grained FPGAs that are being produced today by other manufacturers. So the cell matrix differs from FPGAs in those two ways: self-configurability, as well as the simplicity, homogeneity, and lack of predefined routing resources. The intended function of it is similar up to a point. The cell matrix is intended to implement digital circuits, but it's also really intended to implement digital circuits that process other digital circuits. So it's geared in a different direction. We're not so much looking for extremely high speed by having extremely fast logic elements. We're looking at flexibility and a different measure of power, the ability to analyze circuits and make decisions about them and then act on those decisions, possibly by modifying the circuits. The other thing about a cell matrix that's different from a lot of other devices is it's really geared towards extreme parallelism, in the sense that it's intended to be an extremely scalable architecture. You can take two cell matrices and put them together and get a bigger cell matrix. And most FPGAs, you can't simply connect two of them and get a bigger FPGA. You get two FPGAs that need to be told how to interact with each other. You can't scale up a general reconfigurable platform. A cell matrix is completely scalable. You can take more cells, put them on the end of an existing matrix, and they immediately become part of a bigger matrix. So the basic idea of reconfigurable hardware is similar to an FPGA, but that's really where the similarity ends, and the cell matrix really goes off in a different direction.